As my thought when I left you earlier was, as the dead talking to me, leaving the cemetery as you visit. Now going back to the phobia. Some of us have phobia of heights. Some of us have phobia of darkness. And some of us have phobia of living alone or driving at night. These are just a few that I picked out to ask questions about. So as Halloween comes closer, the days get shorter and darker. Tell me that in your days of going from door to door, knocking for candy, did you have a phobia of darkness, Mary Ann?
Mary Jane.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for that question, Table Topics Master. Did I ever have a fear of going from door to door?
In darkness.
In darkness. Growing up, I was never afraid of the dark. There was even that show, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And I prided myself in saying, no, I'm not. Until, I'm very religious. And this movie came out called The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I don't know if any of you have seen it. But there's this one statement about how if you ever think that you see something out of the corner of your eye and you check and it's gone, and you're relieved because nothing's really there, there actually is something there, and Satan is over your shoulder, and every time I'm in the dark, I feel like I see something, and instead of being relieved when nothing's there, I'm even more frightened because the devil is lurking. And when I go trick-or-treating, it doesn't even take the dark to scare me. Someone will be sitting at the corner and just pop out and say boo, not even dressed, I don't know, dressed as a unicorn, and I'll scream. It doesn't take much to scare me. The dark didn't growing up, but as I became older, I became afraid of the dark. Table Topics Master.
Well, I guess I picked the right one to get this going. When working late at night, alone in the office. I don't know how many of you have been here late at night, hearing all the strange noises. Lights go off, you find out what's a sensor out there. But then all of a sudden the light goes back on and you think, wait a minute, I'm the only one here. At least that's what you're thinking. Have you ever had the phobia of being alone here in the office?
Ooh.
I have never been here late at night. I am an early morning person, but I have had the experience of being here on an off Friday around 6 a.m. and no one's here. And it is creepy. It's all dark. I went to the restroom and the soap dispenser went off. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go back to my desk and mind my own business. There is something that is creepy about lurking the halls of a place that's normally busy, where you normally see people and say hello, and then you're the only one there, and it's just strange. And then you hear something, and you're like, is that someone coming? Is the air conditioning going to come on soon, I hope? That's my story.
Thank you. You lead me to something when you said lurk in the halls. As I give you a few stories growing up and so on, I had the privilege of going aboard the Queen Mary. Mm-hmm. And I didn't go aboard for the Halloween days. I went for a business meeting. And lurk in the halls. It was late at night. I'm walking out. As I'm walking through the hallway, I'm hearing noises. I don't know if you've ever been on the Queen Mary through those hallways, and nobody's behind you. And I do mean nobody's behind you, but you hear this. Like yourself, going to the bathroom. I went in there, all of a sudden I hear all these people speaking. I'm like, wait a minute, there was nobody in the hallway when I walked through the hallway. So, yes, I understand what you're talking about there. Okay, now back to our thoughts. During this night, Halloween, at Knoxberry Farm has a ghost town and a roller coaster that goes in various heights. Now put yourself on this ride with a person that has phobia of heights. How would you handle this person? I'm pointing right at you. You know, I don't say names. The reason is I want everybody to think about who I'm looking for. Going back for Halloween.
Yeah, you definitely weren't timid and handed it.
Timid.
When I'm at Not Scary Far and I see myself on this ride with this person as they express their fear of heights, I assure them, person, you're not afraid of heights. You're afraid of falling. I assure you, the way this is strapped in, it won't fall because I'm in. You're strapped in with the right guy. Once they've received that assurance from me, they calm down. Their timid, pensive emotion is completely eradicated. We left that on the ground because they know they are in this ride with the star. They're happy about it. They're happy about it. So I would assure them, I would definitely pray and make sure that we know that the Holy Spirit is covering everything and before us, behind us, above us, beneath us, all around us. And assure them that because we prayed, if we do die, we die with the lips of Jesus on our, with Jesus on our lips. And that in itself is a privilege. Thank you.
I know I'm not going to ride with you. No, you might tie that belt too tight. Now let's go back to the ghost town. You're coming home late at night, thinking about the ghost town from Knott's Berry Farm. You live alone. Helen, what do you do when you walk into your house?
Table topic, Master. If I live alone, and the first thing I would do when I get home at night is turn on lights. I don't want to be in the dark. And if I'm really scared that night for some reason, and I do actually do this at home sometimes, I go around, turn on the lights in each room, and I actually look in the house, make sure there's no one, nothing there, hiding in any corners. So that's how I kind of assure myself when I get home, if I'm afraid. And I also, sometimes I'm a little bit, I guess, not superstitious, but I'm a pretty careful person. So if I still feel unsure, I might just look around the house and see if everything looks all right, like nothing's out of place or where it shouldn't be. We do have a house alarm, so it should work. So when we're not home and somebody actually comes in, we have motion sensor. We should have gotten a phone call by now. But in case, you know, if I want to be super cautious, I might just take a quick look around, make sure everything looks okay. And I think it's also good as a single person to just make sure all your windows are locked. You know, you didn't forget to lock them. You just never know at night, especially because sometimes burglars and thieves, they come in very easily into the house because people forgot to lock a back patio door or lock a window or something. So it's good to be cautious. Thank you.
I drive a lot at night, and I see many strange things driving out when I'm driving. When I go through the mountains, another story. Going to Prescott, Arizona one night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Going through the hills, coming around the bend. And what do I see? A cow sitting in the middle of the road. No gas station's open. My light is red.
Oh, no.
And all I know is once I pass that cow, it's all downhill. So that's one of my stories, being scared late at night when this freaking cow comes out. So, going back to this story of driving, Mr. Martin, how would you like driving alone at night, or how do you handle that in these kind of conditions?
I am not superstitious. I'm not even a little stitious. I actually love driving alone at night. I think it's the best time to drive. There's no one on the road. It's very peaceful. It's very calm. Driving on the freeways is one of the most incredible experiences when you actually get to utilize all of the lanes, the full straightness of the road with no one getting in your way. So I've never really had any fear of driving late at night or during the day or in any real situation unless there's really weird, crazy people about swerving. But especially at night, you get this sense of calm as you're going along the road. And you realize that this is something that's actually enjoyable. This is why people go on road trips. This is why there are gearheads who just love to feel, their car plowing through the night, hearing the engine roar, hearing the road under your feet. You can hear all the little details of your car as it changes lanes, as it goes through the wind tunnel effects. You can test your acceleration a little bit. Usually you don't have a lot of cop cars out at night. It's a very enjoyable experience. So I would encourage you guys to think of it that way next time you're out driving alone at night, and try to become one with your car rather than fearing what's outside of it. Mr. Tabletop looks
As you notice, I've shared a few stories with some of this going on. So leaving you with all these thoughts about phobia. We all have phobia some way or another. And some of us are afraid to admit it. Like some of us are afraid to turn off the light because we're not sure what's on the other side. But like Martin says, something that you like to do, let's go for it. You like to drive at night by yourself, which is great. I don't mind that either because I can open my car up when all the lanes are wide open. But then when you got somebody right in front of you, you can't go anyplace. But back to our phobia. I'm going to leave you with this thought of Halloween. No matter what, it's just a day of Halloween. It's not for the grown-ups. It's for the kids. So keep that in mind and enjoy your Halloween.
Oh.